You're so obsessed. Get out of your head. Just stop thinking about it. It ain't that easy. Ooh. But it can be simple though. Look, I studied psychology, I worked in the field, and I tried this ish on myself, and I'm here to tell you 2 simple ways to stop your intrusive thought, stop obsessing, and heal your mind. Are you ready?
Inner heroine.
Alright, so I was the definition of obsessed, okay? I was so deep into my anxiety that I was throwing up, okay? Not because I wanted to look cute, but really because I was so stressed out, like my stomach couldn't take it. I literally was sick of anxiety. And I know what it is. Like now, I still have moments, but it's really, really under control. Why? Because first of all, the first tip that I have to share with you is to believe that you can change your thoughts. Okay? Because when you're obsessed and when you have all of these intrusive thoughts coming, you feel powerless. I know I did. And so I'm here to tell you, you have power over your mind. You have power over your mind. You really, really do. And actually, I thought that because of my intrusive, obsessive thoughts, I felt powerless. But listen, it's the other way around. It's because you think you're powerless that you have obsessive, intrusive thoughts. Let me explain. It all comes down to attitude. You know, you have an attitude of control or you have an attitude of I don't have control over anything. In psychology, they call that internal locus of control. There's a lot of studies, I won't bore you with the details, but people that think that like walk through life thinking they have power, well, guess what? They do. It's as easy as that. It's not easy because it has to be maintained, but it's as simple as that. And there's a big distinction between simple and easy. Simple means you can take the shortcut of doing that one thing and it will get solved. You don't have to do a lot, but it takes work. I'm here to tell you it's all about the belief that you can change your thoughts. Think about it. Because have you seen around you people that, you know, they have a lot of potential. They can sing, they can dance, they're intelligent. You know, these guys that you date, okay, let's get real. Let's take a moment and let's get real. These guys that you date, okay, that you think they're like amazing and whatnot, but they don't do anything to further their own life. Why? Because they don't think, the T is, they don't think they can achieve anything, so they don't try. In psychology, we call this the self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like when you think you can't do something, listen, when you think you can't do something, you eliminate the possibility of achieving it. Let me say that again. When you think you can't do something, you eliminate the possibility of doing it, of achieving it. So I'm talking about these bum boys that can't get their life together, but let's talk about you that think you can't get your mind together. You can. It will take work, but you can. And it starts with thinking that you can, right? It starts with that. And it's really not like a big deal, you don't have to have like a lot of confidence or whatnot to start thinking that. You just have to make a decision. The secret is, it's just a decision. So make it now. Make it now. You know what I do? You know, people think I'm crazy. I don't care. What I do is I write down these types of decisions that I need to make for myself and that I need to remember on the daily, because it's like it has to be on the back of your mind. It's an attitude. So if you have that attitude of like, yo, I have power over my mind, I have power over this ish, I can do this, you know, it doesn't mean that right away you'll have no intrusive thoughts. You know, it doesn't mean that like everything will be solved. It just means that you opened up the possibility of it. Because listen, here's another thing. Most people that have intrusive thoughts, obsessions, they are really hard on themselves. I'm gonna talk about me too, because I'm still working on that. We're hard on ourselves. We put standards so high that like it's impossible to achieve. But let me tell you this, your brain is not your enemy. I know it seems like it's your enemy because it's like bullying you. It's like your internal bully that follows you anywhere, everywhere. When you have intrusive thought, it feels like your mind is a bully. But your brain is not made to be your enemy. Your brain, its only work is to help you achieve your goals. So if your goals are not even achievable, like they're not realistic, like you want to be perfect in school. Okay, let's break it down. You want to be perfect in school, right? You want to be perfect with the guys. You want to be perfect with your parent, like with your family or whatnot. And then, you know, your brain, it works to achieve that. You gave it an instruction that your standards are the instruction you give your brain. So it works to achieve that. So every thought that you have is gonna work to achieve that. So of course you're gonna be like bombarded by intrusive and obsessive thoughts because your mind is always working to achieve those unachievable goals. You get me? You get what I'm saying? Start noticing that. Start noticing how your mind works. It starts with that. So I said first, believe that you can change your thoughts. Believe that you can have power over your thoughts and walk with that confidence that you can have power over your thoughts. And second, it's lower your standards. Like lower your standards meaning give yourself, that's a little tip, give yourself props and, you know, even gifts for little things that you achieve, but because they're not little things. If you're here, if you're listening to this, it means you're smart, okay? So you know that you are working to be your best version. You're working to be your best self. You have to like see the small things that you do on a daily to get better. And you have to give yourself props and give yourself even gifts for that. Like buy yourself something even every time like you say no to whatever you don't want to do instead of saying yes because you want them to like you, you know? You start with the little things and then you know what? Your mind will adjust because our brain is like a reward and punishment system. And if you keep rewarding small achievements that are important, well, your brain will, you know, adjust itself and you'll start feeling good for doing even the smallest things. So your mind won't be like running around trying to achieve the big things, and like running around means having those obsessive thoughts. You get it? And one last thing, bonus way, because like I'm sprinkling the wisdom, because I know I have it. I know I get it. I know I have it. I know I got it. Okay. Yeah. So one last little sprinkle. An unrealistic goal that you can put for yourself as an obsessive, you know, person. You have to be realistic about you have to put a realistic goal of controlling these thoughts, right? Because you can I've done it, you can become obsessed over stopping to become obsessed. Like you can become like it can become an intrusive thought to stop intrusive thoughts, right? It can work like that. If your goal is to stop right away, that you have not no no thoughts anymore, like this can become a whole thing by itself. So even that, you have to be gentle with yourself and give yourself props, like when it's like very like a small shift, you notice like small shifts, then you give yourself props and it will happen again and again. Don't run for the big thing of like having no thoughts altogether, because this will just F you up. Trust me, I tried. And so if you like content like this, I'm gonna create a whole thing over anxiety, obsessive thoughts, because that was my struggle and that still is something that I work on. And so I want to share the wisdom, I want to sprinkle around. And so you should subscribe to my channel if you like that. Why not? If you didn't, you can go. You can go. Bye. But if you did, girl, you my girl. You my girl. Goodbye.